I do feel good about what we're doing in Public Works. I am pleased with where we're at, and the men and women here. We have good people, and they care, and that's the huge part. Because when people care, they go the extra mile. We've had many challenges. Again, a lot of internal stuff. Just losing your building. We operated through some major events. From one room at the village hall, with one phone, trying to do a job where we used to have 3-4 phones and all these people.
The Public Works, needless to say, they had a building that a roof and wall basically almost collapsed, and they're right now working out of a temporary building. We intend to build a brand new Public Works building.
So the new building portion gives us a chance to analyze, hey, what are our needs now? We have been going over several sets of different ideas and starting to narrow down, how we think we're going to use it, or as far as the building plans, and then the site location in general. It's basically our site at Public Works. How do we lay it out the right way with a new building and have it function well for us in Public Works and also the residents.
People don't often think about technology being applied to things like water systems and sewer systems, but there are very significant uses of technology in those areas. Our SCADA system, for instance,
which stands for Supervisory Control and Data Acquisition, gives us more remote monitoring capabilities at each of these stations.
In days gone by, you might have a pump that it's either on or off. Well, today, with these systems, we can gradually bring these pumps down and gradually bring them up. It enables us to remotely monitor our water supply in the water tower, what our pump stations and lift stations are doing to turn pumps on and off, to raise the level of power.
It's things that we can handle from a central location at a computer location.
And that sort of stuff saves a tremendous amount of abuse on the system, and hence, fewer water main breaks. Fewer water main breaks means fewer interruptions to residents and businesses. When folks come in to talk about a high water bill that they receive, most often it's because of a leaking toilet or a leaking faucet. Smart meters detect that sort of thing and would send alerts both to us and would automatically send alerts to residents.
These things give you so much more data than your typical water meter. Not only can we see, when the water's being used, they'll give you a temperature, pressure. If the meter's tampered with, it'll tell you. If the meter gets turned around. If we notice this station's starting to struggle, or this is the one we can really keep track of when this thing fails, needs maintenance, or what have you. And as you start to put those numbers together, you can start to project out, hey, this station's going to need a rebuild on a pump, because we can see that its capacity is starting to slowly lower. So it really is a planning tool as well as a everyday real-time controlled device.
What we did downtown Lansing about a year and a half ago, we spent probably $1.5 million relining all the sewers.
We have 15, 16 sewer pumping stations in town. We have some that do storm water only. We have some that do sanitary. Stony Island flood mitigation project, the severe weather, as everybody knows, is becoming more of a common occurrence. And when that subdivision off of Stony, at the time, they set the pump stations, they set the drainage for certain standards. But as time goes on, those standards change. More houses are built, more basements are put in, there's more paving, and people don't always recognize that by doing that, all the natural ways that water goes away, you start to lose those. So what we've done is looked at that area, tasked our engineers to look and see where can we make improvements here, changing where that discharges, and we should see drastic improvements in the drainage. We have some IEPA loan applications that are out there now, as we're looking to do work to some of our water towers, some painting, some refurbishing of those towers. We have some water main replacement work that we are looking at funding sources for.
Roads, they're terrible. Winter was a real bad winter. Our object in the spring is to do about $15 million of new road work. It's going to be one of the biggest undertakings we ever done, but it has to get done.
If you understand the construction of roads, you have your surface course, and then you've got your subbase. If the subbase is not stable, then you can replace the surface, spend the money to replace the surface cores, but it will fail within a year or so in certain areas wherever the subbase is not stable. The cost to resurface a road is about $70 a linear foot. The cost to do a full depth resurface, taking out and repairing the subbase, is about $125 a linear foot. So we're utilizing right now a company to analyze all 89 miles of roads that are under our jurisdiction. And they are driving the streets with a van that has high-tech lasers, computers, cameras that analyze every crack in the surface. Then they have a device that they stop every so often, has hydraulic press that goes down that tests that subbase, the things that you just simply can't see with the naked eye. And then they analyze all of this data and tell us which roads are in the absolute worst condition, but more importantly, which ones can be caught now, just resurfacing, so that we don't wait a year when the subbase will then be deteriorated and it'll cost us twice as much to do it. For about $50,000 investment in that technology, we're going to save, without a doubt, hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Recently, we just had a Station 1 uncoupling ceremony, a ribbon cutting, if you will. Our firefighters came to me with an idea of doing a massive renovation, a very much needed renovation to that station. And really these renovations have come now to fruition at no cost really to the village. These firefighters did this work all on their own. So recently we had that unveiling of that station. Very nice day. Walk into that station now, you wouldn't even recognize it.
We have several programs going on with our hydrants. The most noticeable probably is the painting. The company comes in, they sandblast the hydrants down to the bare metal. So when they put the paint back on, it's a special painting system, it's a guaranteed painting system. It's made for the fire hydrants and to deal with the weather and stuff like that.
Last year we received an Assistance to Firefighters grant. It's a federal grant through FEMA. Every fire department that wants something across the nation applies for these grants. So it's a very, very competitive grant process. We received a $136,000 grant through the Assistance to Firefighters grant, AFG grant, for self-contained breathing apparatus, SCBA, the air packs you see on the firefighters' backs. This will put a new self-contained breathing apparatus on every seated position in every rig we have here. Every firefighter will have their own dedicated face piece or mask. We just recently received, through the same grant process, a $25,000 award for a new set of rescue tools, the Jaws of Life, as everybody knows it by those terms. One of the things that we've also, an ongoing project that we've got, if anybody remembers the old 1935 Chevy. We used to use it back in the day during Fire Prevention Week, and we'd take the kids around the school and ride in the old fire truck. It had an open back to it. We reached out to the people at TF South through their vocational program, and presently, up to this last school semester that ended just this spring, they had taken all the pieces from the rig, everything but the chassis, and they completely sanded them down, repainted them, refurbished them to as close as we could get to the original paint. As we start and we get ready for the new fall semester to start, we'll get a new set of students in there, and they're going to go ahead to work on the chassis of the rig, get that all sanded down, repainted and everything else, and it's just a matter of us dropping a new engine in there, and we're hoping that in the next year you'll actually see this piece back out on the road, something that we envision maybe we can bring out to the car shows, that we can show off a lot of pride in the fire department. Again, a lot of history there, 1935 engine.
The Youth Center in Lansing is a drop-in program for middle school and high school youth to come here after school and during the day in the summertime.
Most towns don't have a youth center. They might have a YMCA or something, but they don't have this, and it's more personal. The parents can drop their kids off here. They feel safe.
Yeah, some changes that will be coming around. We'll get more kids. We get a lot of kids during the school year. So we've done some construction in the building. We've gotten some new doors and some things that are more behind the scenes that you don't necessarily see. karaoke. We'll be getting a new ID program soon, so we'll have much nicer IDs. You know, I would say the great thing about the youth center is that we have this group of kids that come here on a daily basis. And within those group of kids, we've got a much smaller group, which is what we call our Builders Club. And they are a service organization. Those kids go out into the community on a pretty regular basis and do volunteer work. They're kind of our group within our group that's behind the scenes that does a lot of great service. The one group that we always have come in is once a month we allow LARC to come in and use the building. And so they come in and sing karaoke and play pool, and even our Builders Club volunteer and interact with the LARC residents on those days.
I wish they would have had that when I was younger. They didn't have that. The kids have somewhere to go here. I would definitely tell the people, stop in there and see it, even if you don't have the kids.
We're asking Moody's to come back out, who will give us another financial rating. We should be able to bump our financial rating up to a AA.
You know, we want our staff to be well informed, even about areas that they're not necessarily a part of. It's one of the reasons why we have, you know, executive staff meetings. And then we keep our board well informed of all of the things that are happening on a day-to-day basis so that they can make good decisions on legislative matters.
A lot of people still ask me, why do we need a village administrator? Well, there's so many people that compare us to surrounding communities that are successful and are moving in the right direction. The successful communities were being run by a village administrator, a professional who, you know, has the background, has the education for things such as union negotiations, overall employee administration. He's really, you know, taken us really to a whole nother level.
In any organization, corporate organization, you have your corporate board, and then you've got your folks who are your day-to-day management team, your chief administrative officer. And functionally, really, that's where on the municipal side, village administrators, city managers come in. We're responsible to manage the day-to-day operations, to look out for the best interest of our residents, to utilize village funds that are appropriated by the village board in the most efficient way possible, make sure we've got very capable staff who can handle the delivery of services to the residents in an efficient manner. So,
And our village administrator has kind of taken the daily difficulty things off of my plate that allow me to do other things that I think I need to do, and that is to meet with the legislators.
you know, my being here enables him to kind of invest time and energy in those relationships and working that in order to secure the kind of funding that it takes.
When you get into running a municipality, you need people like a village administrator who has the education, the background to do a lot of things that me as a businessman don't know how to do as far as running a village.
Hey, our town's an older town. It's not like we used to be, you know. It doesn't last forever, just like a new car, you know. After so long, you got to get a new one. So I think the people, if they just give us a little time, it's coming.
There's real sense that our infrastructure is improving and some of these old nagging issues are being improved.
I believe that if we can continue the same road that we're moving on, I think that this town is going to be a super place to live.